Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Ecom Life with Brian and John. I am John and Brian. You want to say hi to
Hey
everyone?
guys. Hey guys.
Brian, hold on a second. Are we good? Okay. So we have Lindy producing. She's off camera. So she'll be in the chat with you guys if you're on chat with us. And today we have a kind of a different subject. Over the last couple weeks we've been doing really specific training on POD, which hopefully you guys have gotten a lot of value out of. But first, before I jump into that, Brian, do you want to tell everyone where you're at right now? I don't have you on
Yeah.
camera, so
Yeah, I'm in Salt Lake for my daughter's birthday. We're down at the aquarium down here hanging out.
yeah, that's awesome. So I was joking with Brian. He takes a whenever his kids have a birthday, he takes a day off, and he's got so many kids, he's gonna take half the year off because he's got so many kids. But anyway, that's cool that you do that, Brian. Did we lose you?
No, I'm still here. No, it's
You
awesome.
did. You left me hanging there. That's what I get for making fun of you. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on and being here even on your daughter's birthday. And I gotta say, that was not my idea. That was your idea, Brian.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
So
here because I want to be, not because I'm forced to.
that's cool. So, all right, guys. Like I said, today's topic's a little different, and I started the little hourglass here. Okay, we do about 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. Um, but the main thing today that we wanted to do is kind of shift gears a little bit. We've been doing a lot of like POD training, and like I said, hopefully you guys have gotten some value out of that. It's stuff that we've been teaching in our mastermind that we wanted to share with the Ecom Life team here with the group. And but today is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about mindset. And the reason we want to talk about mindset, Brian and I are really into this because the reality is if you don't have the right mindset to do this business, you're not going to be successful. That's just the bottom line. And what we've noticed in this industry is there's a lack of training. There's a lack of talking about mindset. Everyone wants to talk about the Facebook ads. They want to talk about how to find winning products. They want to talk about, all the stuff that goes along with the business, which is great. Don't get me wrong. We love talking about that. But mindset is such a huge part of this business. And if I'm being transparent with you, I'm going to say, as your coach, as a mentor in this industry, that your mindset is probably the thing that is keeping you from having success in this industry because all the tactics are there. But I believe that some of you just don't have the right mindset. Would you agree with that, Brian?
Oh, I totally agree with that. Sorry, my mic got cut off. Yeah, I totally
Oh,
agree with that. Mindset's like the number one thing to anything in your life, in this industry, in a
mhm.
family, and just all life in general. If you have the wrong type of mindset, you're never going to find what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, like I like what you said with everything in life, and especially in business. And that's one of the reasons why we called this Ecom Life is because we believe that ecom is a lifestyle. It's not just a business. It's a lifestyle that you're gonna have. That's the driving force behind Ecom Life. Is we want to incorporate every aspect of this business that's going to make up the life, right? And so, what I really want to press upon you here today are that we have some really cool things to talk to you about. But the one thing that has helped me more than anything, mindset wise, and it was something I've been thinking about all week in preparation to this, and it is the one mind hack that we posted about, is this. Okay, drum roll, please. Is that you're just one product away. You are one product away from being successful in this industry, from changing your life. And that's not just that's not just a cute little tagline for us here at Quadra. It is absolutely 100% in our DNA. I truly believe it, and as you guys know, we still are e-com sellers, but I was just like you. I was on the other side of the screen or the audio or wherever how you're consuming this, where I was looking to be successful in this business. And I can tell you this right now, the one thing that's stuck in my head that allowed me to sell millions of dollars worth of product in this business has been that one mindset. One product away. Okay? One product away. I want you to have that drilled into your head. Okay? Because that is how you're going to succeed. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and I've been actually listening to this podcast quite a bit. His name's Ed Milet. If you don't know him, you should check him out. He's a big mindset coach. But one thing that he talked about in this podcast that is so relevant to the one product away that we want to talk to you guys about today is depth perception. Okay, depth perception, meaning some of us think that our success, our happiness, the things that we want in our life are farther than they seem. We have a faulty depth perception. When truthfully, guys, the success you're looking for could be just right around the corner, especially in this industry within ecom. There's just that one product that can change everything for you. And so it's not like success is like way down the road and man, I'm just going to have to grind it out. Now, of course, you want consistent action and it's hard work. This is a business, but there's a depth perception issue as well where you may not see or you may not understand that you're so much closer to success than you actually are. You could hear something on this podcast or this video. You could go back to our trainings and hear a strategy that all of a sudden clicks and makes it so that you can now get that product that changes your life. And so I know, is Brian on mute? Oh, Brian, are
Yeah,
you there?
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, I couldn't tell if you're on mute or not. Do you have anything you want to add to what I just said before I launch into a story really quick?
Yeah, yeah, depth perception is super crucial. I think a lot of times we feel like things are longer than they really are, and we feel like it's never going to end, right?
Yeah.
It can be really stressful, it can be overwhelming because when you're in the moment, that moment seems so like it's just gonna go forever. And I've had many moments in my life like that, like especially like when I was in the army, towards the end of my career, I was balancing a bunch of stuff and it was really tough. And I already decided that I was gonna get out of the army when I hit my 8 years. And I remember me and my wife having this conversation. I'm like, man, it feels like I'm in here for life. I'm never gonna leave.
Hmm.
And that's been almost 6 years now since I've been out, maybe a little bit longer than that. And since I've been out. And at the time, it felt like that last year that I had left was going to take a lifetime. And it really is your perception and the way that you view things that make you feel like something that's temporary is going to last forever. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's that depth perception is so huge, guys. And so I want to share with you a couple of takeaways that I've had in this journey. As you guys know, I've been selling full time print on demand for what, 8 years now, 7 years. It's been so long. I've been doing this a long time. It took me about a year to get full time doing this. And the one product away mindset is truly what got me to that next level. And just to kind of illustrate this one product away mentality is I look back a couple years during the pandemic, and if you guys remember at the time, it was pretty stressful. We had no idea how it would affect our business. We hadn't launched the Quadra app yet. Actually, we were still trying to work that. We were trying to run an online store, to make money to fund it, to fund the Quadra app, and there was just a lot of uncertainty. And I just remember in April, and some of you've heard us tell the story, but in April, Brian was like, well, he came up with this idea for a toilet paper ornament that said, I love you more than toilet paper. And I wish I had it. Maybe I do have it here. I thought I had it here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Lindy, if you want to see if you can find it. But this little toilet paper ornament, Brian came up with this idea. It was small, it was little. I wasn't in love with the saying. I also thought like this pandemic shows you how much I know. I'm like, well, this pandemic's not going to last that long, and so I don't know if it's going to really do anything. When we're in the middle of April, and I don't have to tell you that Christmas is in December, but he was like, well, let's just try and launch this. And so we put it on the website, and truthfully, we started selling our Mother's Day, or we were selling some other product. I can't remember what it was. That was selling pretty good. And all of a sudden that day, there was a day where I started seeing that ornament was selling without us spending money on any ads. People were just finding it on our website and buying it. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, wow, this thing is selling without any ad spend. And oh yeah, we can't find the ornament. Thanks for checking though. And this thing started selling without any ad spend. And so I was like, fine, I'll launch it, you know. And immediately, like the next, and this is where depth perception comes in, guys. Okay. I all I did was I did some target, I launched some Facebook ads for it. I think I targeted some really broad Christmas interests, and then like toilet paper. And that thing took off. Like the first day, I think we got 4 or 5 sales right off the bat. Huge click-through rate, lots of comments on it. It was just like a clear winner. And so obviously in our Quadra Success Academy, just a couple weeks ago, we went into depth on that, on how to analyze the data. Anyway, this ornament started to take off like crazy. Long story short, guys, in a matter of about a month, maybe a month and a half, we literally did hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even close to $1 million in sales on that one ornament, on that one product. Oh, there it is. You want to put it up on the screen? Yeah, Lindy's got it up on the screen. So for you guys watching, she's gonna put it up on the screen, hopefully. Oh, okay. Can you drag it up across like you were before? You can just show it like it was. If not, that's okay. And for you guys watching, you'll see how silly this ornament is. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if it's on the screen. Oh, yeah. You're not sharing our screen. I want to share the screen real quick. And then, yeah, you'll have to move it. So as Lindy's putting that up there, you'll see it right here. That's the ornament right there. I think we bumped up the price, but I think we started at $6.99, and this ornament just took off. And so if you think about it, thanks, Lindy, you can put it back.
Honestly, the price didn't matter because people wanted it. We could keep upping the price and they just kept buying it.
And look, guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're in the middle of some uncertain times right now. Like it's very uncertain where we are in the economy, and just everything that's going on in the world, just like it was during the pandemic. Like we were scared. Like I don't know if scared's the right word. We were definitely concerned and wondering like what was going to happen. And from April to May, everything changed in a blink of an eye. Okay. That's what I'm talking about with depth perception. You could have that one idea, you could have that one product that can change everything for you. And that product did change everything, guys. Like literally, we used the funds from that silly ornament to pay for the development and to launch the Quadra app. The Quadra app is still, we still on version 1. We just launched it, but it's a working app, and it all came
Think about
because of the idea. Go ahead, Brian.
think about if you wouldn't have launched that, if you would have just kept to your own belief
Exactly.
system and said this is a crappy ornament, crappy design, crappy
Yeah.
saying, no one's gonna try it. But you can't, you're like, you know what? We're just gonna launch it. We're gonna try it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. We went from like total concern about our business, like, are people even gonna buy it? Do people have money? They're holding on to money. Is it gonna be one of those things where um, we're not gonna make any sales during Mother's Day, which we usually do really well at? To all of a sudden, literally, guys, in a blink of an eye, in a month, to having like hundreds of thousands of dollars in our bank account. Okay, just like that. And all because we were one product away. We've always had that mentality. That's why we launch product consistently, because even if when there's failure, we know that we're going to have a product that's just going to pop, and it's going to go for us. It's going to make us money. And so that was such a huge lesson for us, the depth perception, and then just having that one product away mentality. And I hope that you can internalize that and really think about it. And so the other thing we want to talk about is our belief systems. Brian and I are both into personal development. We're both into a lot of the Tony Robbins stuff. I think a lot of you listening to this are into it as well. But we started talking about, like, why is it that certain people behave or get certain outcomes in their life? And the reality is there's a simple formula to that. And we want to discuss that formula with you guys today. Brian, can you hear me? Do you want to go through it? This is kind of your thing. I know
Yeah.
this is big for you. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about this actually since we've been talking about it. Is it all goes down to our belief systems. It's how we truly believe inside, and so I'm gonna lay out this formula for you guys a little bit. It's from Tony Robbins, and it's all on how our belief systems dictate our futures. They dictate our paths and how we go in life. And the first step is first your belief system, right? That's how we truly believe. That's how we feel, and that's deep down within inside of us. It's ingrained in us. We create that belief, and then it goes on to your values, and then from your values, that's what creates your decisions, and then your
Hmm.
decisions are what create your outcomes. Now, I'm gonna use an example here so that you guys can
Yeah.
understand exactly what I'm meaning. So, for instance, I had when I first went into business, I had this belief system that if I became a millionaire and made tons and tons of money, my family life would be perfect. My family would be
Yeah.
happy. My kids would enjoy being around me and all of this stuff, right? And so I had this vision, I had this belief system within me that was like, this is exactly how it's gonna pan out if you can be successful at business, right? And so first, my belief is that if I'm successful at business, my family will be happy, right? My family
Hmm.
will love me. I'll have a great family life. So, what values did I put to that? So, for instance, because I believe that I could have a successful business that would make my family happy. My values were work all the time, work hard to get a successful business, right? So
Hmm. Yep.
my decisions from those values were work as many hours that I can. As long as I'm working, my family's going to be taken care of and be happy. And so my outcomes were my family was taken care of. The truth to
Hmm.
those outcomes is my family wasn't necessarily happy, right? When I came down to it, my belief system was skewed from what was actual truth, right? For me,
Yep.
I felt like having those things would make my family happy, but at the end of the day, my family just wanted more time with me, right? And
Hmm.
so as I've seen that happen, it made me realize, oh my gosh, my beliefs and my values have created these decisions and these outcomes that have really pushed my family away from what that was, right? And so I had to
Hmm.
totally go back and change my belief system within myself, my core beliefs, my
Uh-huh.
core beliefs within myself. I had to say, okay, so I have to detach the business from my family. The business has nothing to do with my family's happiness, you know? So how I changed that, I looked at my belief, right? I said, my family's not happy from a successful business. My family's happy because I'm a good father. I'm there for them when they need that. For example, I'm down in Salt Lake right now, spending the day with my daughter. I spent the day yesterday with my son because their birthdays are right after each other. I made that goal that no matter what, I don't work on my kids' birthdays, right? I might be doing this 30-minute live with you guys today, but to me, I spend that time with my kids now. I make sure that I'm there for their sporting events. I'm there when they need me. I'm there for my wife, right? So that belief changed, that I would have my belief that I would be there for my family no matter what, right? I created another belief that I could still have a successful business. So what that created was a value, right? That value
Hmm.
was work when I'm working, play when I'm playing, right? Be home with my family
Hmm.
when I'm at home. So my decisions are different.
Yeah.
My son's birthday comes around. My decision is, it's not should I work, should I not work? It's no, today is my son's day. That's what I'm
Hmm.
doing, right?
Yeah.
So my outcome is different. I now have a better family life and I have a
Yeah.
better work life, you know?
Yeah. That's
That's
awesome,
all it
Brian.
comes down to.
Yeah, it's huge. It's just following that scale, right? And so I appreciate you sharing that example and being vulnerable with us on that. I think that's super powerful, and I've seen that same thing in my own life. It's just super interesting how these beliefs can really push the outcomes that we have, right? And so it's
Totally.
really important for us to see those beliefs. And so let's take the ecom example, okay? So if I'm someone listening to this podcast or I'm someone watching this video right now, and my belief is that making money with POD is impossible, what are my values going to be? What are my values going to be? What decisions am I going to make? And what are the outcomes, right? So if I'm the kind of person that really believes like, man, this is one of those things, like I'm watching John and Brian, I'm seeing people on YouTube that are successful, but that's not attainable for me. Um, the 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 my values are, this is where it gets tricky. Brian, do you want to jump in and say what the values are?
Yeah. So let's say you're looking at everybody online, you're going, man, they're making it, but I can't make it, right?
Uh-huh.
You're creating a belief system in yourself that it's like e-commerce just isn't for me, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't succeed at it. So then your value is going to be, there is no value to e-commerce. Like
Yeah.
there are no values there. So your decisions, whenever you make a decision, isn't going to be, how can I launch my next winning product? How can I generate a
Mhm.
valuable store? How can I do
Mhm.
those things? Your decisions are going to be the opposite. You're going to be looking at how to go do something else that you feel is of value, right? And then
Mhm.
your outcomes are going to be, you're not going to have a successful e-commerce business. The difference, I would say, is let's flip that
Yeah.
and look at your standard of one product away, right? Outlasting the
Yeah.
temporary. Okay, so if you have that belief system of you're one product away, you're outlasting the temporary, right?
Uh-huh.
That means that your belief system is that you will not give up because you're only one product away. So the
Yep.
values are not, you're never going to quit. So then your
Yep.
decisions are going to be, change my approach. Every time you
Mm.
launch a product and it doesn't work, you're just going to change your approach. You know what your outcome is going to be long term? You're going to have $1 million product land in your basket. You're going to wake
Yeah.
up and you're going to be like, man, I launched 400 products, and on number 401, that's when I made $1 million.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so it's just that's just so powerful. And so if you get anything out of this podcast today, guys, out of this training, is that you're just one product away. And I want you to believe that, because that one belief is going to determine the values, the actions, and the outcomes that come to you. Period. That's the way life works. And so
I
if
think
you go
I
ahead.
think the biggest thing too is acknowledging where you have faulty beliefs.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing you can take away from this is realizing, if you have that belief system, if you're thinking, oh, I really can't launch a product, or I can't do that, it's acknowledging that that is a thought that you're having. A thought is only you asking a question and then giving yourself an answer. So if
Mhm.
you're asking the wrong questions, you're going to get bad, faulty answers all the time. So the
Hmm.
biggest thing to take away from this, guys, that I would say is first of all acknowledging where you have good beliefs and where you have bad beliefs. Because once you acknowledge that it's a bad belief system that you're living, then you can change that belief, which will then change your values, which will change your decisions, which will change your outcomes, and then you'll start getting the outcomes that you truly want.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna butcher this quote because I usually do. My wife sent me something to this week while I was at work. She was saying, it's somewhere along the lines of fear and hope are basically the same thing. They both require faith in something that's unseen. It's just that you get to choose which one you're going to focus on. They both require faith. Honestly, it's just what are you going to choose? They're both unseen, right? The unseen can cause fear, or the unseen can cause hope. It's up to you to decide which one you're going to focus on, because it doesn't require anything different. It's just the same thing. And so your beliefs start there. What are you going to focus on? What are you going uh to assign meaning to? And Brian, you have a great quote about meaning. Do you want to
Yeah,
quote that?
yeah. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning that I give it, right? I'm gonna kind of draw you out here or pull you out here, John. And
Uh-oh.
I know John says this all the time because so I'm a woodworker. I like to fix things and stuff like that. You know, John always says things like, "Oh, I can never fix that," or "I can never do that." The honest truth is that that's not true. Anybody can do anything that they put their mind to. It's what you're putting meaning to in your life that has true meaning. Nothing in life, think about this again, guys. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning that I give it. The reason why I can fix, any toy that my kids break or things like that isn't because I'm better than you at all, John. It has nothing to do with that. It
Well,
has the fact
maybe
that
you are better than me.
no, no. It has to do with the fact that I put meaning to woodworking and designing and doing all those aspects. It's the same thing with design. You might not be a great designer, right? But that's just
I love
because
how you're
that
saying
you
all these
haven't.
things I suck at.
I know, I
Just
know.
kidding.
Just wait. Don't worry. It's getting better. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're a bad designer. It's just you haven't put meaning to it.
Hmm.
Think about all your success with Facebook ads. I'm not as good at Facebook ads as you because I haven't put time to it. It has not been important in my life, so I never put meaning to it, right? We
Uh-huh.
all look at things, we all look at things in life and we put importance on things because we choose to put importance on things. We look at it and we say, you
Yeah.
know what, this has meaning. This has meaning in my life, or this doesn't have meaning in my life. So when you're sitting there thinking, man, how come everybody else around me has successful businesses, or how come I suck at business, or how come I'm not good at painting, or I'm not good at whatever, or launching
Hmm.
a product, right? The only reason why you're feeling that way is because you haven't put enough time into it yet.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
And let
all
me
it is.
oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
And let me just add, yeah, I appreciate the other thing too, just to illustrate this point real quick, and we're almost out of time, is that you could be sitting at home right now watching this and saying, I have failed at launching product and at POD. You can assign that meaning, or you can say, I'm just starting my journey and I've collected a lot of data of what doesn't work. Both of those
Exactly,
are both
exactly.
of those are true. You're the one that decides the meaning you're going to give to that. Period. And that meaning you assign to something creates the beliefs that create the values that create the actions that create the outcome, the decisions that create the outcomes of your life.
Yeah,
And so it's up to you to assign the meaning. That's the powerful thing about being a human being, is we have the power to assign meaning to things. And if we assign meaning to certain things that empower us, we're going to have outcomes that empower us. If we're going to assign meanings of things that make us worthless, our outcomes are going to reflect that. And so that's why it's so powerful to just have grace for yourself of where you are in your POD journey, especially,
yep,
and not say, I suck at this or I can't do this. Instead, give yourself another meaning. I'm learning this. I'm beginning my journey. And when you have that mindset, you're going to you're going to have different values. You're going to make different decisions, and you're going to have better outcomes.
yep.
So
The process,
anyway,
the process of a thought is asking yourself a question and getting an answer. If you're getting crappy answers, it's probably because you're asking crappy questions, right?
Yeah.
It's not, man, why am I so fat? If you ask yourself, why am I so fat? Your body's probably going to come back and say, because you eat a lot of food, fatty, right? But if you ask yourself, but if you ask yourself,
Oh boy.
but if you ask yourself, but if you ask yourself, how do I get in shape, right? You're going to get a different answer. It's going to say, maybe you should go to the gym. Maybe you should go horseback riding. Maybe you should go on hikes, right? You ask
Go
yourself
get
a
in shape
different
horseback
question.
riding. That'd be fun.
Yeah. You get,
I'm
yeah, you
totally
can,
teasing you.
right? You
Yeah.
can, but the thing is if you ask yourself a better question, you're gonna get better answers. If you're asking yourself crappy questions, you're gonna get crappy answers, and those are what create our belief systems, and that's the only thing that dictates our outcomes. If you
Yep.
believe something that's crappy, you're gonna get a crappy outcome, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what happened to me with my family life, right? I thought my belief system was crappy. It was if I work harder, my family will be happier. That wasn't the
Yeah.
case. The harder I worked, the crappier my lifestyle got at home. I had to
Yeah.
realize that my belief system was faulty. And as soon as I changed that, everything else changed at home.
Yep. Yep. And it'll change for you guys listening to this as well. I hope that was helpful
Yeah.
today. Give us some hearts and not a lot of comments today on the live stream. We are watching it, but let us know if that was helpful. We really appreciate the time that we can have here with you guys. We hope that you'll continue to support us by listening to us on Facebook or subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's Quadra E-commerce. We should probably get Ecom Life, right, Lindy? And yeah, just by following us in all our channels. But thanks again, Brian. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. And until next time, guys, we'll see you. And happy selling out there. Talk to you later. Bye.
See you guys.